So we're back. I just forgot to unmute my microphone. That seems all right. We've got the Babel and everything running. So yeah, let's go ahead and just build parts of the front end for now. Just go ahead and I totally forgot that. We need a git ignore file. We'll want to ignore the node modules. There we go. Put a comment up here, node folders. I'll just put folders. Then we'll have, I don't have any folders created by my editor. So we've got someone else watching the stream right now. So we've got the folders. What else do I want to put in? Files. I may want to pass in the dot. I'll have the package log.json. That one won't be needed. I'm not sure if I need to put in the CSS and the JS folders, as they will always just be the compile of the source. If somebody actually, I'll just leave these two in. The package JSON log can be removed. So we've got that. Now let's take a look. Got the Babel RC. That's looking all right. So I'll just put this as the commit message. Commit to dev. So that's just pushing to the GitHub service. So now what do we want? We want to go to getbootstrap.com. As I'm not quite interested in remembering all the navbar classes. We'll have the, I'll just name it the header. The header won't end below the navigation, but we'll do it for now. So for the header, I'll replace the brand, or not replace it. Oh, where is it? There it is. Actually, let's get this navigation. This will be simplified if I just pull out these two. Also won't need the form. It's already way simpler. Now what we wanted is an image, or actually just our favicon. And also this, so what I'll pass in is the assets, favicons. I'll take this one. I'll start the live server. I'll rename this So put this in. All of this will be wrapped in a container. This will be put one down so it indents better. That one's alright. I don't want the background light as I want it to be completely white. And now it wouldn't be so bad if you could see what I'm talking about. So this is what we've got at the moment. I'll go back over to this screen. Now what we want is we don't want, first of all, we want to have this as an ML auto, which now looks like this. Now what we want login and register. And if you were logged in, first of all, I don't want any of these to be active or both. Either way, I think I want none of them. And what I want if you're logged in is I want the, where is it? This. So if you're logged in, there will just later on be a PHP diff which will check if you're authenticated. If, let's just say if auth, so I have this, and then basically just your username, and then you'll have a, which is the German for my profile, will have Karten, so that's my tickets. That's my orders. And so we've got, I kind of like want the, hasn't it got support for dividers? I'm pretty sure that it's got dividers. Yep, this one's got it. So I want to divide right here. So this is my profile, order tickets, my orders, and that's pretty much it. So if we'll take a look at this. So what you need to think is that this isn't there. So we either have this, and I think this should be active. So have this. And I messed something up quite badly. I'll fix that in a second. Or you have this, which would be for login and register. So now we've got some sort of problem with this. Is it because of the navbar-light? Nope. Is it because I messed something up? Probably. Yes, so it's working on mobile devices. What I want to get done is that this isn't so glitchy anymore. So I'll be going over to the Bootstrap documentation again and just figure out why that's not working. If I copy their drop down without me having modified anything, does that? No, that doesn't work either. Probably just removed something that was totally wrong. So let's paste in this. I'll copy the brand because that's probably not what's the problem. And then I'll copy these two. And then I'll remove this. Save. So that's already messing up, so I've got some sort of problem going on. So we've got the bootstrap CSS pulling in. I think I've had that problem before with drop downs. It wasn't that. That's better, but it's still not working. Now that makes absolutely no sense. That's alright, that's alright, this is alright, this is alright. This is alright. We're opening it. We're closing everything. Oh. Fair point. Vielen Dank für den Kommentar. So. So this is what we're currently at. Which, this is looking kind of like one. I'll probably restyle it. What was the... So if I just replace this with the just how it comes straight up out of Bootstrap. Okay, so that's not running, so it's not something that I've done, but it's something wrong with something else. So it's not about this one. It's also not about the container. What I first of all, no. I'll comment out this for now, so we can just focus on the drop down. So yeah, I'm just taking a look at the stream. That's probably the next option that I'd do. I think I've had it before for a different project in which I've had the problem. That's why I'll end up this. So we've got this scroll bar here. In case anybody's interested, this is the only CSS currently happening. It shouldn't be because of this. It may have a problem with me setting the line height. So we've got this, which is just that's scaled all right. Then we've got this div, which is overflowing. Now here it should have position absolute. This position statics getting overwritten. That's position absolute getting overwritten. But we're still getting position absolute because of that. Theoretically, it shouldn't be causing a scroll link. Fair point, yeah, that's it. That's not quite working, and second, if I could at most set this. So we've got the body, which hasn't gotten that styling. Let's just figure out what's going on. Now it's got it. Also for the minified's got it as well. And we're importing that minified. Probably just a silly thing. There we go. Now it's working. What I'll probably do is I'll remove the border of it. Or at least I'll remove the border radius and the border top. So I'll have the includes underscore navbar.scss, which will be included in here. Add import the inc folder, the underscore navbar partial file. Haven't got a comma right there, a semicolon. In here I'll go ahead and say nav.navbar. I'll give this a background color of the body background. Then I'll go on to the it's in the le.nav item. I'm doing it this way so that I can later on style a bit more about this. And in here I want to style this. So I'll do that. And in here I'll say border radius 0. Can you say border top 0? If that compiles, which it does. This now looks like that. I don't want a divider in between here, but what I want is a divider right here and a button to log out. I'm not quite happy with this style, but I'll change that later. I'll make this a border bottom of a 2 pixel solid h00. Actually, I just want the width of the container, so what I can do is have another section. So we have the main. This will I mean, the navigation is something you'll need in everything. This header will probably just be in here. I'll just go for it. It'll be a section.header. I'll go for the dot header. Border 2 pixels, solid, hashtag OO. Would be sort of an idea to go into the index file and down here double up on this and say I'll go to the layouts folder and take the main.min. That's a bit too thick for my taste, so I'll do is that's looking all right. Then I do it at this. Thought I had kind of like the same style in a different document, but I haven't got it right here. So I'll probably go for something that isn't as hard. What I'll try is I want to get the same colors up, maybe, which would mean, which would be this. Check how that looks. That's way more lighter. Now I need to check from what is all of the margin. So we've got this. How's that coming? So we've got a margin of 0. Now that's way more up there. That's pretty much how I wanted it. It's a bit too thick, so I may change this to border top, which will make it about this size. I'll make a border top of 2 pixels. It'll be the same thickness. Is that the same as? Looks like it. So I'll keep it at that. I'll move this one back onto my secondary monitor. I'll check how the stream's going. Now this starting to look a bit better, but this line's a bit too high. I theoretically could just give this a margin of a few pixels. The only thing is how many pixels are it that I need to give. So go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Margin top of 7 pixels for this. Actually, it's of a certain amount of pixels which haven't already, it's probably got a bit of a margin. So we can just go ahead and check on this, which is this. That's 2.2. 2.25. You're just thinking, what if that's like a certain RAM size? Let's just say we'll put in a 9.9 pixels. Saving would be an idea. There we go. Now I would need this to be about the same. So I want to move this over a bit and have this line about as thick as this. So move this to border top again, which will now have this. Now I just need about the same color. Need to remember that this is on by default. This may look a bit too light now. I need to see how that's looking. That's alright, I just don't want this bit of that. Just take this tool, just figure out, so it's 2 pixels more that I want to have this to the right. I could probably do it since position absolute, but I may just stick with the margin as I've done that alright. Margin hasn't gotten anything. I think I've counted it 2 pixels. I've already forgot that. So that's where it's. So I've got 2 pixels that I want to have a margin left. Margin left of 2 pixels. Now that's perfect. That's what I wanted. That's the front end I'd like to build. So that's probably the header, how I'll have it in every single class. I'll extract this for sure into an extra PHP include file. So what I want to do now is basically get a bit of a. So I've been working on a. This was a system for basically reselling your school stuff at the end of the year. So for example, when I leave school, at my school you need to get like a calculator which's got all the great features in it, but it costs like around 160 euros. which people that don't go ahead and study in the IT or maths industry probably won't ever need again, or your books for your advanced courses, that you can pretty much sell these on there instead of, you know, writing on a piece of paper and pinning it to some sort of board on your school. Something I started. Yeah, that's what I've done for that. So I want to create something like this, but a bit different. Also, the layout was, so I've talked to the people that will organize our prom. That's pretty much the equivalent to the American prom. So what they want is like a news feed, so kind of like a bit of a blogging system. So I may have like this is the navigation that we've got so far. Actually, we've just got a container in here. We'll have it like this maybe. Then I want to have like some sort of header. I'll probably have a bit of an HTML, CSS, JS, and PHP. With Bootstrap. So I have this kind of like a bit like a blog, you know, so it'll probably be like a title, a bit of a grayed out text or something, and maybe if there's a small image related to it, like an image or something, have a few of, nice one, have like a few of these. This box won't exist like that, but you know, have like a bit of that. Then probably, since you can go ahead and buy tickets publicly and as a student, there'll probably be like a counter of how many tickets are left for the public sale. Let's just say 89 for now. So probably like a bit of a counter or something. Probably that's going to be the main layout. Then I'll have a footer which links to all the sitemaps and everything. So what I want to have in here is I pretty much actually want to have a row with no gutters. Inside of that I want to have a column, a col-LG of 4, the col-MD of 5, plus a col-LG 8 and a col-D 7. Yes, I am the developer that created the thin matrix page. Or not the thin matrix page yet, we've just made the Equilinox page for now. We've been working on a thin matrix page before. We'll probably start working on that once Carla's finished doing all the Equilinox stuff. Then we'll probably be working on a full thin matrix page with a blog and tutorials and a bit more of a complex website than the current landing page for Equilinox. So this one will be will have background of, I'm not sure if it's being image, but I'll just call it, this one will be info, and this one will just be column-bg, and this will be column-info. So I'll put the header file in there. Actually, this is now main because this won't be in the rest of the headers probably. So I'll remove this. I'll pass in. So I'll say div.column-bg, which will be quite an easy one, and div.column info, which should be also quite easy. So this one I'll just give it a background color of the what we'll need to do in each and every single one of these is have this structure as well. If not the base, we want to get the variables and the includes needed that are specific for this layout. So I'll also copy this over into this one. So I want to have the yeah, sure, that's what I wanted. I'm gonna have the primary in here. Connect to target on JSP. Yeah, JS. If you got anything specific that you want to have covered, just let me know. I've had somebody asking me on a multi-layered parallax zoom effect. So basically, you scroll down and the images zoom in at different speeds instead of scrolling at different speeds like normal parallax. And somebody that asked if I could make a video on how to create a sort of portfolio website like the one I've got currently running under constantinross.com. I'll probably do both of these in the future, at least the portfolio one where I'll design a portfolio and get a whole from the design on how to set up your project, on how to code it. But first I'll work a bit on this project. So I have light. I need to get a plugin for SAS. Have I got installed on? Settings, packages, language. But if you've got any other questions regarding JavaScript tutorials or something, just let me know. That's the wrong way, 5%. For now, I'll just give this a minimum height of 500 pixels. Oh yeah, sure, so that's... Actually, I will need to include the nav bar in either one of these. First of all, I'll just give this a height of 300 instead, maybe. That's looking all right. Now, for some reason, let's just leave this away. So we've got the situation going on that this is spaced up again. So we've got some experience in Angular 6. So if you're asking, let's start with JavaScript. And you've got some knowledge in Angular, which is JavaScript framework. You need to phrase it a bit more specifically on what you want to use. If you just want to use vanilla JavaScript, there's pretty much a different starting point than if you want to use jQuery, because jQuery can do certain things which you wouldn't need to learn the default JavaScript or the vanilla JavaScript ways of doing. If you want to learn something like React. So let me just use the inspector to find out what's going on. So we've got this again. We've got the section, the container, the HR. Where's got the HR so much? This just has to stop compiling, right? Hängt halt davon ab, wie viel ich davon pro Tag mache und wie motiviert ich bin. Sorry for everybody that's watching this in English. I've just talked to somebody that I know that is German for the chat. This is compiling. I'm going for the header container. This theoretically should be working. The header.scss file just doesn't get included. Correct, Constantin. I've just sometimes got these moments where I just don't know why I'm doing certain stuff, or why I'm forgetting certain stuff rather. Yeah, if I'll do something, I'll try and do it right. That's why I'm going into the details for this too. Also need to think of that way. I'll probably do it for free, just for my great. We'll do it. I'll make it a bit easier for the people that are organizing everything. Anyway, they've already said they would pay me, as it's pretty much, if they let me do it or somebody else, it's not a problem. But I'll probably do it for free. But pretty much later on, you could take this system, if it works, if everything goes according to plan, runs smoothly, you could just go ahead and sell it to other schools or other grades. So I'm just trying to get it done quite nicely. If I were to do this as a monetized product, I probably need to rewrite it using a program or a framework rather, like Laravel. Actually write an API for it and then use like React on the front end. Just taking a sip of water. Yeah, so we've got that working again. This is working, not quite. That's totally what I wanted to do. Actually, let me go ahead and set this thing back to tabbed. I don't want it on the left. I want it on the right. So that's got this. Yeah, remove this. Smart move. So I've got these again, but they don't have a height, so we'll set you know what? I can just set this to these two. So name this to layout underscore main underscore header underscore min underscore height. Now I need to replace all of these with the normal ones, since I want to keep some sort of naming convention at least. Set this to 300 pixels, and that way I can use it in multiple places and can just rewrite it. I also put in the layout in front so that I don't accidentally. So we've got this, we have these two having in the height, and for some reason this thing isn't getting its background color. That could be the problem. There we go. Well, that's a really dark and depressing grey, blue. So what's the bootstrap? No, I've got this thing. I'll take this as the primary. It's just a bit more. God, the variables. Actually, you know what? I won't actually need a grid. I'll just have this saying the dot. Do a bit more easier. I think I'll just have the text centered, so I'll put in this. I can also just pass in this directly, won't need the variable. I'll give it a text dash white and a text center, which bootstrap classes. I'll put in an h1. Just take a look at that. That's all right. I'll give this a class of display 4, which I believe is the smallest in Bootstrap. Go, that's a bit more lightweight. We'll have a bit of an H4 maybe. That's a bit too big. How's that? This could, of course, I'll just pass this over to my second screen again. Close off the dev tools. What I think I'll do is set the text align to center and say text MD left, which will put it left aligned. Then I'll have will I put that in there as well? Dot D dot H 100 dot display flex dot align items center, justify content center. Okay, now I need to wrap this in div, otherwise it won't work. This needs to be content. If I give this class of display flex, we can pass in this down here, which will do this. Right, I forgot. Why isn't the H100 working though? Let's just keep it up as I had it before. So I've got this. On small devices it's getting centered. There won't be any devices that will be that small. This is a bit wider. Wait, what? Oh yeah, never mind. So this ending right below that, this hasn't got the padding, therefore this is, so we've got padding of 15 pixels, which equals 1 rem in some browsers. Padding. So this one will be 0 and this one will be 1 rem. There we go. Now this is looking equal on all sizes. Perfect. That's how it's supposed to be. What I want the header init to have is a bit of a margin top of maybe 30 pixels, so you actually can see the gray line that we created before, just like that. That's exactly how I want it. Then so we've got, that's pretty much the header done. Then the next thing I'll work on will probably be the footer, just for now. So in here I want to have a section dot I'll have a footer dot footer. Thank you, Simon Williams. I'll have a container and some divs closing off wrong right there. So yeah, now we've got the what I want to have in the middle for now is just a bit of a filler. And I'll just put in here section.content. Minimum height will be a 50 virtual height. That way the footer will be actually somewhat at the bottom. Now I want to have in here. I'll need certain links. So I'll probably have a row, a col LG 6, which will turn into a col. We'll leave it at that. But before we'll have that, I want to have a col LG3, that 2 times, which also has a col MD6. So Bootstrap used to have classes to change the order. So I want to have this be the first on large, and then after that I want to have it at the last. Bootstrap column order. So I could just go for grid. Setting column width. There we go. So we'll have order last, and we'll have order LG first, which would mean if I'll pass in a with a text muted dot credits, and I'll pass what happened now. I'll pass in website created by Constantin Ross, and I'll have a link to my website right in there. So yeah, if I put that in there, and I'll just put a lorem 30 right in there, and also one in here. If I'll view this, we'll have it like that, and that is doing absolutely nothing. So yeah, order last, order LG first. So we have order Bootstrap reorder on X's. So what I can do is I can say order first, and I can say order LG. I'm not ordering it 12, I'm ordering it, yes I am. That way on, no, order LG, that's how I want it. So I can, oh, I've just Googled a bit, so what I'll do is I'll say order, first of all this isn't even a column, that could be the first reason why it's not working, but still it won't, so I'll say order last, I'll say order LG first, which will result in it being first and continuing to being first. Do you have to say order MD last? Why is that margin gone again? Oh, it has just changed because I applied a padding. Let me just get my counter out again. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. So how much did I count? I counted it 4, right? So we go to the navigation, and I'll just set this to 6. Not 6 as px. I'll just check the live port and the stream, which seems to be running all right. There we go. Now what? I'll apply a bit more so that it's actually overlapping just right on that corner. So I'll say 7, or I'll maybe change it to an 8. That way it is straight on the, actually you know what, I'll remove this, having a bit of spacing on this side actually isn't looking too bad. Now it's just better aligned with this. So what I want to have is pretty much no, I'll make two footers, I think. Actually 2 columns rather differently. What I've got this set up for different project, which I can't show you the code of because it is a commercial project which a client is paying me for, so I can't just show you the code, but I can look at it and copy it. So what I'll want to have in this is I'll have this container, and then I'll have a in this, or below this, I'll have a div which will be called footer-credit, which will have a container as well, which will have the p with the text muted, which will have website created by, to wrap this in anchor tag, Constantin Ross. Just quickly get the link of my website again. Now we'll go back to here. So what I'll do is I can actually already create an includes for the footer.scss, which I can't forget to include here, otherwise I'll get weird errors later on again. So now this is actually compiling. The footer will need the same as this. Other that will gain footer. So we're having the background will be rather darkish color. Actually, I was thinking about giving this a different color, but I think I'll just move this in here and give it credit. Put it in there, and then I can, that's totally what I want to do. I can have the row or something up here. So what I have is a row with I'm not quite sure. I'm just thinking a bit right now. So that's just going to paint out like a professional graphic designer would do. So I was thinking about so I'll just send something to somebody. So, whoa, that's a bit zoomed in. So what I wanted, layout number 1 would be having the foot like this. Having this, having the credit in here, with somewhat of a logo here, and then like a list for all the rights and all the contact. And the second layout option would be to have what I thought of first, was having the credit line right here, then having a few contacts there. That I need to find out how the current you get the bootstrap grid or grid order. So they're using it. They're creating a column and then they're saying last, but how can I? So let's just try that again. I'll have a col LG6. And I'll have a col LG3 dot col MD6 times 2. So having this with this inside of here, and the alarm of 10 maybe in here, and I'll just copy down this line, save some work. Now what I saw here is you can do order last and order first. Now that has worked. Now if I want to say that I want to order this last, no wait, if I want to order this first, but order LG last, then I'll say here order first, order LG first, yeah, so that's now working. So that's great. So what I'll do in the footer will be, for now, just background color of this, so darkish color. What I'll do first is the spacing, so the padding, which will be 60 pixels on the y-axis and 0 on the x-axis. I may also go for the primary. I'll just check how that's looking. Would be an idea to pass in a semicolon there, otherwise it won't properly compile. I'll need to set the color to the bloody background. I'm just predicting right now that I can also go ahead and remove the text muted. And I need to say p.credit a color lighten primary will now look like this. I'll need to add a hover effect or something. Was that plus hover? Or was it... and I think it's the end. I know it's the end for class, but I'm not sure if it's for the hover. And I'll just pass in this added 20. Maybe 20 is a bit of a hard. I'll just pass in the... now I can use the body BG. I think that's going to be it for this stream. It's looking quite good. I just deleted the footer because I wasn't quite happy with how it turned out. But yeah, I think that's going to be it from this stream. I hope you enjoyed. If so, make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. There'll probably be another stream of me up tomorrow around the same time, if not earlier, probably earlier. So yeah, then I'll see you all then. I'll probably add the authentication system, or I'll finish off the landing page or some of the other pages. So yeah, that's going to be it. I'll see you all next time.